It's very well honored to have you. I know in Venezuela we'll say Comrade Carlos. We're honored to have. Let's give Comrade Carlos a good round of applause, colleagues. I will be fired if I do not do this, but also colleagues in our midst, we have the Acting Chief Director responsible for Programs and Qualification, Mr. Vele, the Chief Director for Special Projects, Mr. Buthelezi, the Acting Regional Manager of Gauteng and Free State, our host, Mr. Mashele, the Director responsible for Student Development and Support, and also the Acting Chief Director, the Acting Regional Manager, Eastern Cape, Mr. Richard Midire, Abudim Mereki. We will also be joined by the CEO of Services SETA. I'm not sure, SG, if they've, please come to the front as well. Who will also be giving us a message of support. You can, next to Mr. Midire there, you can remove one of those bags, but I know we are told that these expensive bags don't sit on the floor, but Mr. Zondi, today you'll forgive us. We will also we're supposed to have the presence of the minister, but unfortunately due to other departmental programs, she will be unable to do so, but the DDG for TVET, Mr. Sam Zungo, will also be joining. He's just concluding a session with the Deputy Minister. As soon as that is done, we will then have that message. Now, colleagues, without any waste of time, we might be chased out of this venue if we do not ask the regional manager to open today's session and welcome us all into this beautiful province of his. Let's give Mr. Mashele a good round of applause, colleagues.
Program Director, thank you very much for this opportunity. To the President of SATVETSA, the SG, and all the leadership of SATVETSA, to the delegates from Venezuela, to the Department of Higher Education and Department of Higher Education and Training, to college representatives, SRC, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Good morning. I'm just worried so early in the morning when you greet people, nobody can say good morning. I hope everybody is okay. Welcome to the Gauteng Free State region, one of the regions in South Africa, the region with 12 TVET colleges, 2 CET colleges, plus or minus 61 campuses. It's one of the biggest regions in the country, with a bigger number of our students in the country, South Africa. Distinguished guests, esteemed colleagues, and valued participants, it gives me a great pleasure to welcome you all to this curriculum conference. Today marks a significant moment where educators, policymakers, researchers, and practitioners come together to share insights, experiences, and innovation that shape the future of education. Our theme for this conference resonates deeply with the challenges and opportunities of our time. The curriculum is more than a roadmap for learning. It is a reflection of our collective values aspiration and commitment to equipping our students with the skills, knowledge, and mindsets to thrive in a rapid changing world. As we navigate the complexities of modern education, this conference provides a unique platform for collaboration, critical dialogue, and visionary thinking. It is an opportunity to learn from one another, to celebrate success, and to tackle challenges with creativity and determination. I encourage each of you to participate fully in the discussions, workshops, and presentation over the coming 3 days of this particular event. Your voice, your ideas, and expertise are crucial in shaping a curriculum that meets the needs of our learners and prepares them for a dynamic future. Let us approach this conference with an open mind, and we enjoy the rest of the day, tomorrow, and a day after tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, we wish you all the best of luck in our engagement. With these few little words, feel welcomed and enjoy your stay in South Africa called Gauteng Free State. Thank you very much.
We can do. Let's do better. I want to try it, Mr. Marshall. Good morning. Good morning. I think it has something to do with youth, Mr. You see how they are saying good morning. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I think now we can safely say we are welcome in the beautiful province of Gauteng. So, colleagues, without any waste of time, I will now like to call the President General of SATVETSA, Ms. Chokwe. I had to learn these names as we go along. In my Xhosa, it's not so easy to say Chokwe. So, Comrade Carlos, you'll have to forgive us. Some of these names are, I think mine is the simplest. You can just say Sundi. So I'd like to call President Chokwe to come on stage. But before that, President, I would also like to acknowledge some of our partners that are here. So in between the session, colleagues, we are encouraged to go to the stand of Higher Health there at the back. Colleagues have some nice goodies for you. I know they will be with you on Sunday as well, but we asked that they be here for the rest of the week. So, and I'm not alone as well. I would also like to acknowledge the presence of my colleagues in the directorate. Selina, who's responsible for social inclusion and disability in our unit. We have our colleague in the SATVETSA. I don't think you know the SATVETSA. Please stand up so that they recognize you. We have the SATVETSA who just joined the department as well. Let's give him a good round of applause. We have a permanent feature, the Deslibano. You all know the Deslibano. So, President, if we can kindly come to the stage. Where's the chair of Gauteng? Chair, I trust you with singing. While Mbulelo is bringing the president on stage, please start a very nice song, President.
Buta, Ewie nuzo wa polisa, Awie Tamogwali wala alamangeba eutambo autambo gwali wala aitambo gwali wala alamangeba eutambo autambo gwali wala autambo gwali wala alamaneba utambo. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Program Director. Amandla yo. Aweti yo. Amandla yo. Aweti yo. Thank you. As introduced, I remain the National President Yamatuike, President Khaogale Chokwe. Allow me to pass my humble greetings to the DDG, Mr. Semzungu in absentia, SACPO leadership, D-head officials, the SATVETSA CEO, NSFS officials, the Venezuela ambassador, the COSASCA president, FAPSA regional managers, SAUS leadership, lecturers, and all partners present here. Lastly, our SRC delegates. Can we give yourself a round of applause? By so saying, all protocol observed. It gives me a great pleasure to officially be welcoming you to this first student-driven academic conference under the theme that TVET must transform, a key to unlock a curriculum that is aligning with the demand and development of the modern economy. Allow me to express my profound gratitude, for it is through the unwavering support of the Department of Higher Education and Training, SACPO, and the TVET branch, especially the Student Support Services, that today, as the collective of SATVETSA, we are able to host such an enormous conference, which we envision it to be a success. Equally, allow me to express my gratitude to the Minister of Higher Education. Over the years, we have witnessed the transition of the TVET sector. We have been entrusted with the responsibility to strengthen and translate policies and advocate for student interest. Program Director, the success of this conference depends upon our engagements, commitment, and understanding of the sector, where it comes from, and the direction that is currently taking. The technical, vocational education and training TVET sector in South Africa that we know today was established in 2002 in terms of the Further Education and Training FET Act 98 of 1998 and was repealed by the Continuing Education and Training Act of 16 of 2006, which came into effect on December 11, 2006. The curriculum has always been at the heart of education and training system. For far too long, TVET has been perceived as a second option, a fallback plan for those who couldn't obtain a space in the universities. But here today, I say that the perception is and has changed. We are transforming into the institution of choice, and this gives us a great hope for the future. The TVET sector is about providing skills training necessary to succeed in an ever-changing world. With the rise of automation, artificial intelligence, and digital platforms, there is a high need that students be equipped with not only traditional skills, but also the technical proficiency necessary to navigate the modern workplaces. That is why TVET must transform. We need a system that is rapidly evolving and responsive to the need of industry. A TVET system that is inclusive and can provide students with a clear pathway to certification, employment, and further education. However, we can only accomplish this by strengthening the linkages between TVET institutions, industry, and economy. This means providing students with work-based learning opportunities and mentorship programs. And it is also paramount important to ensure that there is an ongoing development of college staff, which will ensure that the staff gain adequate knowledge and skills required to plan and deliver a responsive vocational and occupational curriculum. Furthermore, we need to develop leadership programs that will assist leaders within the TVET sector to bring necessary change. I must say that as SATVETSA, it gives us great pleasure when we see and we witness the opening of new 4IR centers, even occupational centers. By embedding these competencies, we position students to thrive. The transition of the sector is imperative because it has the potential to contribute to the employability and job creation. What's also critical is the need for more substantial industry involvement in the TVET curriculum to enhance responsiveness to industry needs and requirement. As industries evolve and technology advances at an unprecedented rate, it becomes essential for our institutions to adopt their curricula to meet the changing needs of the job market. The traditional approach to TVET education, which focus solemnly on providing students with specific trade skills, is no longer sufficient in today's dynamic and globalized economy. This transformation, it involves a shift from a narrow focus on technical skills to a broader emphasis on critical thinking, problem solving, creativity, and adaptability. We are now convening this conference, which brings together key stakeholders as part of responding to the need to adjust and reposition TVET curricula in the light of new technological development. The outcome of this conference will provide a clear direction where the sector is heading. We are indeed determined to grow the sector by drawing more young people into it and producing entrepreneurs more than job seekers. Let me close by quoting Thomas Sankara in saying that, "May my eyes never see and may my feet never take me to a society that is silent." By so saying, I encourage everyone present here today to engage openly, robustly, however, with respect. And please, let's avoid going outside while we're having discussions. It is only in this that the next generation can learn from us who have walked before them. As you can see, we are leaving a massive printhood behind. I thank you.
We can do. Thank you, President. Okay. One could say, Mr. Vel, I think our sector is safe. I think all the years and the hard work that colleges and colleagues are putting in developing student leadership is showing off. I think let's give a good round of applause to all of them. Now, I want to tell you, Mr. Vele and Ambassador, everything that is here is SATVETSA organized. The concept documents you have, it's SATVETSA organized. We are maturing very well as a sector. We are maturing very well. Now, without any waste of time, I would like now to call on the Secretary General to quickly brief us on why we are here.
Bueno pala tumela, tumela. Bueno pala tumela, tumela. Bueno pala tumela, tumela. Tumela, yo tumela.
Thanks, colleagues. My name is Wongani Mkwali, the Secretary General of SATVETSA. Allow me to greet the DDG on his absentia, the Ambassador of Venezuela. We are grateful, sir, for your presence. SG of TVET CGC, FG of SAUS, President of COSASCA, the Chief Directors, the Regional Manager. I'm trying not to forget anyone while I'm still greeting them. The Acting Regional Manager, Mr. Modiru, the CEO of SATVETSA. We are very grateful for your presence. We are very grateful. I'm given one task. To just speak about the conference, the purpose of the conference. But now, understanding very well, Guti, I'm just a Secretary General, I'm not a podium person. The President have done well on the podium. So the team have thought to organize something for myself and say, no, don't do much of talking. This is what you are going to do.
In ancient times, indigenous knowledge system was crucial in transferring practical skills and vocational training. A common way to develop skill was through traditional craftsmanship and informal apprenticeships where knowledge was passed from one generation to the next. It will be noted the Great Transformation for Further Education Training, FET, which provided occupational and vocational education, subsequently to technical and vocational education, and training which added technical training that is influenced by both the domestic needs and international trends. The renaming of the sector from FET colleges to TVET colleges better reflects their nature and defines their main role in the diversified post-school education and training system. TVET colleges are established and governed in terms of the CET Act 16 of 2006 to provide training in trades and technical skills. The department, DHET, has an obligation by the Act to fund colleges, while NSFAS, which is NSFAS, ensures that every South African citizen who needs to study and have a passion in studying is funded, given that he or she passes their studies. Further addressing the need to student accommodation, NSFAS piloted a private accommodation project to ensure accommodation security for majority of TVET registered students. For noting, unlike universities, TVET students were never expected to pay back the NSFAS money after they finished their studies. Conversion of group of concerned students to a legitimate student governance structure in the form of Student Representative Council, SRC, strengthens and completes the college governance and ensures broader stakeholder engagement. Moreover, There is a SATVETSA as national structure with wings in the form of provinces, which provides a bird's eye on college SRC's governance, operation and leadership to ensure coordinated and smooth operation within the jurisdiction of student governance. The 2022 SATVETSA National General Council pronounced and officiated a motto, TVET must rise, with an intention to ensure a sector as an institution of choice. SATVETSA design and develop programs and projects that seek to advance and advocate the rise of the sector as an institution of choice. Mandated by the college SRCs to advocate TVET must rise through their program of action, POA. The influence of people in colleges for enrollment, curriculum design that is necessitated by the industry needs and international trends, increased academic throughput, increased placements of students, and prudent governance provided clear indication that the sector has rose. Hence, the need for the next step, TVET must transform. The 2024 SATVETSA Policy Conference pronounced a modeled motto, TVET must transform, having been influenced by NDP 2030 sector targets, Industry 4.0 and Fourth Industrial Revolution. A need to relook into curriculum design and revamping of infrastructure with the aim of aligning qualifications with current trends required by the economy. This prestigious conference aims at providing a platform for stakeholders to enable discussion, fostering innovation and strategies which enables real-time solutions. The alignment of TVET programs with the current 21st century job market trends will be one of the major areas of discussion. Strategies that increases academic performance and throughput, innovation, entrepreneurship, and employment remains the cornerstone of the conference. Moreover, only a small percentage of TVET graduates venture into entrepreneurship, highlighting the need for a more entrepreneurial-focused approach within TVET curricula. Students are a major stakeholder of the conference, having a unique perspective on the challenges and opportunities within the sector. The involvement of students in this conference aims to empower them to take an active role in shaping the future of TVET sector in South Africa. This academic conference serves as a base for the transformation of TVET colleges and be able to create a platform to recognize the work done in the TVET sector. Let us work together to create a better TVET sector. Let's make TVET institutions of first choice. TVET must transform to both responsive and relevant curriculum.
That was my speech. So I have less to say. I think, colleagues, we don't talk enough about the TVET sector. We don't praise ourselves enough. You know, in the previous year, I think starting previous year until this year, the former minister, Dr. Plain Zimande, opened many campuses. And some of the campuses, they are part of the video. Many campuses, good infrastructures, but we are not saying anything about it. No one can tell our story better. It's only us who can tell our story better. We need to start praising ourselves. Yabona abantu abaningi bathi umuntu oyitshelayo uyingozi. But isikhathi leso ukuthi siyitshele nathi ngomsebenzi osebenzekile in the TVET sector. We have done well in the previous years. Mr. Sondi, maybe we have never said it in any podium. From the previous years that we have had, we have always had disorder when it comes to student leadership. But look at this audience. This is the TVET sector we dream of. This is the TVET sector we wish of. SRC members that are concerned about their future, that are not only raising matters on funding issues, but can actually raise matters on the improvement of the curriculum development. Let's talk about curriculum. Let's raise issues, let's engage. No one will be wrong, not today, not tomorrow. Many ideas, they died because the owner did not have the strength to raise them. Ayikho idea wrong. Let's engage, feel at home. This platform is yours, comrades. This platform is yours. Let's change the future. Amanda.
We can do, let's do better. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. My take from that is good infrastructure development, steady improvement of the sector, good programs, but now it's time for the voice of students in those programs. It's time for students now to speak about entrepreneurship. We've always argued that a TVET student ideally should not be looking for a job. Should be saying, what do I start as soon as I am out of the TVET college? Collaboration. That's what I'm taking. What is the disjuncture between us as students, the industry, the funders in the space, and also international collaboration? What can we learn from Venezuela? What can Venezuela learn from some of our infrastructures as well? That's my take for that. Let's give SG one good round of applause, colleagues. Without any waste of time, I know the SG of SAUS, you are running a similar program, but I'm sure it's not as big as this one. It's not as for universities. So let me call Nobala of SAUS, a union. It's a sister union of SATVETSA, but it's a union of student representative councils in the university sector. Dawit, please come to the floor. Let's give him a good round of applause. I mean, maximum 3 minutes. If you finish in a minute, that's also good.
Thank you very much, Comrade Sondi. Good morning. Let's try again. Good morning. Oh yeah, I think it's a good morning. Firstly, let me acknowledge the President General of SATVETSA, Comrade Rolelo, leadership of SATVETSA as a whole. I'm told that there is an ambassador from Venezuela. His Excellency, your acknowledgement. Leadership of COSASCA, and all structures that are represented here. SG, you are like me, I'm unable to speak on the podium. Mine is action. I don't like talking. I like to deliver. But I was told that I should mention 3 things that perhaps this conference should reflect on as we support it as a South African Union of Students. Part of the key discussions that we're having, SG, now in the universities is how do we align the academic programs of TVET colleges with universities, because currently there is a distinction between colleges and the universities in South Africa. So SAUS, as we support this program, was saying this academic conference must reflect on that and perhaps come up with proposals in terms of how can we deal with that. The second one, SG, is around the issue of entrepreneurship that Comrade Sondi is reflecting on. Currently, we're having a very a heated discussion around the issue of making entrepreneurship a compulsory module or a compulsory course across all university courses within the sector, because we believe that it's not enough by producing students who must go and contest for jobs, but we must be able to produce students who are prepared or who are able to create employment. In so doing, we believe that entrepreneurship plays a central role in doing that. I'm glad that, Comrade Sonti, as you were reflecting, it's part of the things that you'd intend to discuss in this conference. But also, Nobala, as we support this conference, we must also reflect on the current programs that we're offering in the sector as a whole. This is not only related to TVET colleges, it also affects us as universities. Are we producing graduates which are responding to the demands of the job market? If not, what is the problem? What is the disjuncture between what we are producing and what the industry needs? Second last, Comrade Nopala, which is what I think you said, you also invited industry professionals in this particular program. They must help us to understand how do we catch up with the changing demands of the industry through our education program. So how do we ensure that we keep our programs aligned with the moving targets of the industry so that we don't produce unemployable graduates? Because we're coming from the poor backgrounds. Some of the families were the only hopes when they come to these institutions. So when I exit with a certificate and I'm unemployable, it becomes a burden. So industry experts, help us, or perhaps share with us what is it called, share with us what is it that you see in the next 5 years is going to be the most needed skills, particularly in the job market, so that as we start these discussions in our sectors, we align ourselves with what seems to be the industry trends as we move forward. So I'm not going to say much, TG and the SG, but from our side, we want to wish you well for this conference. We're hoping that you will come up with clear resolutions which are implementable and actionable in the next years. And as I close, Chair, allow me to say this particular leadership, I think they reflected on the words of Fanon when he said, each generation must, out of its relative obscurity, find its mission. It's either you betray it or you fulfill it. So I believe that this particular leadership has identified its mission and it's in the way of fulfilling it. I thank you very much and all the best for your conference.
One last round of applause, a good one this time. I don't want to be accused that all the speakers I bring here are Marxist, because most of them are from Sankara to Fanon, and I agree with them. So now, thank you so much, SG. I think part of the agenda in terms of collaboration with universities is an issue of articulation. Most of our colleges and our students are still struggling with articulating to universities. I think this should be a collaborative effort or battle between SATVETSA and SAWUS in terms of how do we make this program to be seamless. We know that you have your universities like TUT, where that is a bit easier, your VUT, your CUTs of this world, but you still have a struggle around articulation. So I think it's one of these, when you go to your next gathering, you must come and say, TVET students have also said we must assist them with the issue of articulation to universities. Now, in our midst, because SATVETSA says they're an umbrella structure of all structures, even TVET CGC. In our midst, before I call the old people, I also want to acknowledge that we have the national chair, or what we would have termed as a president of the CET, Community Education and Training Colleges in our midst. If you can please stand up so that the gathering can see. Let's give our CET. We are going to make it a permanent feature that we attend your programs, you attend ours. So colleagues, without any waste of time, now allow me to call to the stage the National Executive Member of FABSA. These are people that are responsible for money, registration data. They are responsible for that. Mr. Daniel Apan, if you can come to the stage. Let's give him a good round of applause.
The program director, Mr. Sondi, the deputy minister, Honorable Manamela, in absentia, the deputy director general, Mr. Zungu, in absentia, the director in the student support, Mr. Midirwe, our regional manager, Mr. Mashele, the acting chief director for programs and qualification, Mr. Vele, the chief director for special project, Mr. Butelezi, SACPO, the national COSAXA under the leadership of Mr. Obrim Posula, the student support managers, TVET CGC, the ambassador of Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela, SAUS, SATVETSA under the leadership of President Chokwe, Service SITA, Alan Gray Makers, Higher Health, NSFAS, and all protocol observed. Good morning. It is a great pleasure and honor for me to stand before you on this prestigious event of the first national student-driven academic program on behalf of financial aid practitioners of South Africa. That is called FABSA. FABSA is an umbrella body of all the financial aid practitioners in both universities and TVET sector. It is also a non-profit organization whose membership is institutional based. Our membership is made up of 76 public post-education and training institutions, which consist of the 50 TVET colleges and the 26 universities in our membership list. Our main aim is to improve the financial aid ecosystem in the country by improving access and administration of funds in the country. We also aim to develop an environment wherein both financial aid practitioners of all public universities and TVET institutions, national and provincial department, NGOs and fund administrators for both government and private organizations can network and share their challenges, ideas, and new development in the student financial administration and management. Our goal is to promote the best practice for student financial aid administration in the field of service. Leadership, as we are gathered here to discuss the future of the TVET, FABSA want to express its unwavering support for your efforts to transform TVET into a responsive and relevant curriculum. Your generation is the driving force behind innovation, creativity, and progress. It is imperative that TVET programs are designed to equip with equip you with the skills, knowledge, and competencies required to succeed in the ever-evolving world. A responsive and relevant TVET curriculum is crucial in addressing the pressing challenges of our time, such as climate change, technological disruption, and social inequality. It is essential that TVET programs are tailored to meet the need of the modern workforce, foster entrepreneurship, and promote sustainable development. As student leaders, you have a unique opportunity to shape the future of TVET and ensure that it remains relevant, effective, and inclusive. Your voices, perspectives, and ideas are vital in informing the transformation of the TVET sector. FABSA urges you to continue advocating for a TVET system that is focusing into the following concept. Number one, the system that is responsive to the need of the labor market and the economy. Number two is the relevant to the aspirations and interests of the students. The third one is the system that is inclusive and accessible to all, regardless of background or ability. The fourth one, the system that is focused on developing the skills, knowledge, and competencies required for the 21st century. Program Director, on my conclusion, I want to say, remember, your effort will have a lasting impact on the future of education and the world of work. Keep pushing for positive changes and know that your voices are being heard. Thank you very much.
One good round of applause, colleagues. Mr. Apan, without any waste of time, may I now call the President General of COSASCA, Mr. Aubrey Mposula. You have exactly 3 minutes and it starts now, Mr. Mposula. Let's give him a good round of applause.
Program Director, in my preparation, the greetings only were going to take the 3 minutes you have allocated. However, I will try to improvise. Allow me, therefore, to greet in absentia Minister Dr. Nkabani, Deputy Minister Manamela, and also Deputy Director General TVET Sector, Mr. Sam Zungu. In the auditorium this morning, let me first acknowledge the presence of the ambassador from Venezuela, Comrade Carlos Fio Alvedeo. I hope I said it right. I've been trying to recite it since morning. Thank you. It's part of the sabotage. I can't adjust. It's the 3 minutes. because I'm from Student Support Services, I always refer to the Student Support Framework. And the Student Support Framework dictates that we must develop students that are holistic, that students must be holistically developed. Now, why do we say that as COSAXA? We are saying, much as we are talking transformation of the curriculum, Mr. Madiru, we also need to be cognizant of the fact that we are not developing robots, but we are developing human beings who need to strike a social balance. We cannot have students who are, I like using the term, who are academic giants and social dwarfs. I think it becomes a risk terrain for us to develop that kind of people. We need to strike a balance in the manner of the people, the character and shape of people that we seek to transform. I'm encouraged that TVET CGC is here, Mr. Zondi, and because when you sit in these council meetings, we must also have a discussion to say, are our colleges conducive to give students career pathway outside the classroom? We run programs of sports, arts, and culture, as I was saying, Ambassador. What I've seen to be lacking, Mr. Vele, is that our colleges have become concrete jungles in terms of the infrastructure. And we want to encourage this plenary to say, as we talk transformation, let us also say in the nature of the infrastructure we want for our TVET colleges, are there fields for students to play? Are there auditoriums for those who are creatives to expose and express their God-given talent? Because in our view as COSAXA, creative arts, or rather the creative industry, it's one of the most fertile grounds that must be explored currently. If we were to say in the world right now, in terms of the people who are formally employed, those who are best paid are the ones in the creative industry. Whether it will be your sports person or an athlete somewhere. So it means it is also imperative of us as the sector to say we must not be wearing, there's an Afrikaans way where it says oorklaps. Yeah, we must start thinking outside the box and say, much as we are going to have students who are doing well academically, let us also create platforms and systems to enable them to express their God-given talent. Somebody would say, why is he ranting about the importance of a holistic growth? If you look in terms of the holistic development of developmental path of a person, you'll realize that people who interact in sports activities or other performance activities, they tend to develop a lot of, they build emotional and mental resilience. Because you don't want people who just go to work and then they cannot cope with the pressures of life. Also, Lina, even the people living with disabilities, we are saying we need to create platforms that include them in our program as we go. And President, I know my speech was going to be 5 minutes, but we want to say it is very important that in the sector we enhance soft skills, that we are not one-dimensional department. I want to close with a quote, program director, as you chase me out, by Abraham Maslow. He says, one can choose to go back towards safety or forward towards growth. Growth must be chosen again and again. Fear must be overcome again and again. And I want to encourage this Congress that let us strive towards growth and transformation as we all love this sector. I thank you and wish you a successful program.
One good round of applause. And I must also acknowledge the cameraman. The work that you are doing, it's Lord's work. Ne? All those that are sleeping, they wake up when they see this. You must continue like that, cameraman. Let's give the cameraman a good round of applause. Now, without, now I'm worried because they're from the same college. Now, I'm going to call on the leadership of the South African Public Colleges Organization, SABCO. Whoever is on YouTube, please switch it off. There's an echo on one side. Oh, it's the projectors, I'm told. Okay. Now I'm going to call on Dr. Mutapo, who represents all 50 colleges, all principals of 50 colleges in the country, to come and give a message of support. I must say, Mr. Vele, for this to be possible, it's the collaboration between SATVETSA, SATVETSA. Without SATVETSA, all this work and the beautiful work that you see will not be there. And I'm hoping, Dr. Mutapo, that relationship will not be broken by anything. By anything. I'm hoping that your first commitment when you come here will say, we will never break that relationship. So let's give Dr. Mutapo a good round of applause, colleagues.
All right. Good morning, colleagues. We will never break that relationship. Thanks a lot, and thanks for the opportunity. They didn't even give me time to settle, hey? That didn't mean I haven't even settled, I just arrived. And I must apologize on behalf of SATVETSA because I got a call on my way elsewhere. That's why I'm not wearing the same t-shirt as you. I got a call on my way elsewhere and I was told to come here with immediate effect. And that is how serious we take you. Good morning, I'm Dr. Mutapo. I'm the principal of Sidibeng TVET College. Yeah, that's my college. And I'm representing SATVETSA today, and it is my pleasure to be here to address you, colleagues and leadership in the sector. I extend my heartfelt appreciation to each and every one of you and taking on this important responsibility of representing and advocating for your fellow students within the TVET colleges. Your dedication to leadership in this space is not only shaping the present, but also laying the foundation for a brighter future for vocational education in South Africa. As we all know, that vocational education in South Africa is forever changing. Not long we were technical colleges, not long we were FET colleges, and we are now TVET colleges. The sector is not only changing in the name, but also changing in the curriculum offering to enable us to be responsive to the needs of business and industry. And that's the reason why when you talk to Ntadevele today, he will tell you more about vocational education. He will tell you more about the new programs that we offer, like in IT, robotics, and 4IR. We respond to the needs of business and industry and train our students to be relevant in the future. As leaders, you are the voice of your peers and driving force for positive change. The skills, creativity, resilience you demonstrate every day mirror the core values of TVET colleges, empowering individuals with practical knowledge and preparing them for the real world challenges. As leaders in the sector, I want to encourage you to embrace this journey with confidence and determination. Leadership is not without challenges. In actual fact, as a leader, you put yourself out there and you say, for every challenge that exists in our institutions, I want to be part of the solution. When the rest say, here are the problems, as a leader in the sector, you say, I think I've got a solution for that. So we applaud you for this academic conference that you have. In our midst today, we've got educators, we've got experts in the field, we've got men and women who walked the path before you and who stand before you on a daily basis. Your commitment in fostering inclusivity, innovation, and supportive in a learning environment is inspiring. Please know that the colleges and broader communities stand firm behind you. As leaders in the TVET College and principals, we stand we spend English. We stand with you and we support you and we pledge our support. And why are we doing so is because we believe that you are the future of South Africa. No one but yourself. The future of this country. When we say the future of this country is in the youth of the country, we are referring to you. As SACPO, we want to say, please know that the college and the communities behind you, we offer your support. I'm not going to be long. I want to say thank you for your service, because you render service to the country. Thanks for your service, for your passion, for your leadership. I always say to my SRC that leadership is a sacrifice. You sacrifice yourself. And as you sacrifice yourself and you lead by example, always know that as a leader, you lead by example. As an SRC, we expect you to pass 7 out of 7, 4 out of 4. That's leading by example. And passing also with flying colors. I want to wish you all the best, and I want to encourage you to contribute to the changes of curriculum in our sector. I want to encourage you to be part of the sector so that when you leave our colleges, one day you can look back and you can say, I've been there, I've done that, I got the t-shirt. God bless you.
Okay, thank you so much. Let's give Dr. Mudapa a good round of applause, colleagues. It's a principle, Mr. Mutap, we're not Dr. Mutap, all our SATVETSA members must pass 7 out of 7, 4 out of 4. It's part of their constitution. If you can't lead yourself in a classroom or in a lecture hall, how are you expected to lead students? You must be an example as well. So it's part of their constitution. So SACPO should be proud of that. And I'm glad that you've made that commitment. And we are streaming it very live, Doctor. The whole country is seeing this thing. That you have made a vow today. Now, without any waste of time, I'll now like to call, he's also a very permanent feature in our programs, and I must congratulate you, SG, on your re-election again. I'm told that since you guys took over the organization, the TVET CGC, it's a very active organization. I'll tell you my grievance, though, that in the next Congress, please invite more SRCs in your next Congress. I'm not saying they will topple you, because they're also members of governance. Now, let me call the Secretary General of TVET CGC, Mr. Zondi, on the platform. Let's give him a good round of applause.
Thank you very much, Program Director. We invite the SRCs are a permanent feature in our programs through their elected national leadership. I rise, colleagues, I rise on the protocol that has already been observed, meaning I will not be mentioning everybody by name because protocol has already been observed and I rise on that protocol. But I think it's important for me to just make a special mention of the ambassador from Venezuela, Ambassador Carlos. We thank you for being here today. You could be anywhere today, but you decided to be here. You're an ambassador. You're very important and a very busy person, but you decided to be here. So we don't take that lightly, and we thank you so much for being here. That's the first special mention that I want to make. The second special mention is to the president of SATVETSA, Uchokwe. Thank you so much for having us in this gathering. You spoke very well. I took a video of you when they were singing. I took a video, and then so I posted the video, and someone was saying, "What is she saying?" When she says "Amandla yol," I said, "Hey, phuma kwizinto zabantu abasha," so because they will confuse you. Abantu abasha, they Amandla yol is how they speak. Colleagues, I think it's important for me to. I have a prepared speech, a very brief speech, but I think it's important for me, for those that are engaging with us for the very first time, TVET CGC, to give some preamble and context as to who we are and what we do. So we are the TVET College Governors Council, which is basically a structure coordinating all councils from all 50 public colleges. From all 50 public colleges. Similarly, you would know, just before me, we had a leader from SACPO, which is the organization representing all college principals from all 50 colleges. So we represent councils, and we also represent all council-paid employees in the bargaining chamber, and I'm the chief negotiator in the bargaining chamber for the last 4 years. So in the bargaining chamber, we have college employees are represented by two structures in the bargaining chamber. First, it's the TVET CGC through myself as the chief negotiator, and also the department. The department, because some college employees are PESAL paid. They are employees of the department, and they are paid by the department. So I think it's important for me to mention that, so that there's an appreciation of the role we play as the TVET CGC. So we represent everybody, those who have paid subscription and those that have not paid subscription. We represent you. Nonetheless, and decisions that are taken in that platform are binding decisions. They bind everybody, those that have paid and those that have not paid. So I thought it's important for me to actually mention that, so that we have that appreciation of who we are as the TVET CGC, and therefore impress on you as SRCs when you go back to your respective colleges and councils, because you sit in councils, to impress on your colleges to subscribe, as they do to SACPO and as they do to SATVETSA, to also subscribe and pay subscription to the TVET CGC. So I've been in the sector at a personal level for quite some time. I'm the immediate former chairperson of Umfolozi TVET College. Currently, I'm in Boland TVET College, an exceptional college headquartered in Stellenbosch, and so I love the sector, and which is why we are here today. So we're excited to be part of this Imbizo conference of student leaders from all TVET colleges. All our national and international guiding policies and frameworks talk to the provision of quality education and training policies such as the Sustainable Development Goals, the NDP, the Higher Education Act, the CET Act, and various other pieces of legislation. Therefore, such a gathering is therefore crucially important in ensuring that you succeed in attaining the ideals as enshrined in these guiding policies and frameworks. This gathering thus has the significant task of unpacking how we make TVET colleges institutions of first choice. So collectively, we have the responsibility of asking ourselves the pertinent question: what are we doing to make this sector attractive? So the student leaders gathered here must respond to that question. I can't respond to that question on your behalf. I can but merely make a contribution. However, I can, in fact, if requested, competently respond to that question as the Secretary General of the TVET CGC. This year and the preceding years, we executed the following programs as the TVET CGC, which have had a positive impact on colleges directly, and students and staff alike. With the services SETA, I saw the CEO who was here, work very closely with him. We've dispersed 75 TVET college bursaries to 75 TVET college lecturers doing their postgraduate studies. We did that in 2022. Direct beneficiaries. With services SETA again, we did a skills development program for 28 TVET college lecturers and managers. With FACET, we've done a lifelong learning program that entailed training 1,247 students from TVET colleges in the country in CV writing, digital skills, business communication, and report writing. We take that lightly, the issue, Ambassador, of report writing, of CV writing, right? People don't know how to write their CVs. And a CV is crucially important because it's a piece of paper that you are using to sell yourself. And therefore, what you write in that piece of paper to sell yourself is crucially important because it's how you are positioning yourselves and how you are marketing yourself. In conclusion, because I see the program director is coming forward. In summary, we've done multiple projects, but the one with various CHIETA, services SETA, PSETA, but the one project that I think all of you have felt directly, if you have not felt it, when you go back next year, please feel it. Please feel it. We built ICT hubs in all colleges. There's not a single college that is here that doesn't have an ICT hub which was built by us, the TVET CGC. All of it. There's even a plug that says, so that you may remember, even those that don't want to remember, so that they may remember that there's a plug that says this was built and donated by TVET CGC in collaboration with FACET. And it has the name of Ayanda Mafulega there. All 50 TVET colleges. I heard there's a chairman from community colleges here. All 9 community colleges, all of them have an ICT hub which was built by ourselves. All of them. All 9 have ICT hubs built by this structure. And we've built ICT hubs in 4 skill centers. So I'm merely saying this to really raise so that there's an appreciation and to illuminate really the impact that we are having collaboratively with SACPO, TVET CGC, SATVETSA, the department, and the SETAs that are there in impacting directly on our colleges. And lastly, Program Director, as you come forward, I want to stress this point that I know many things have been said around the curriculum, and because I've addressed this gathering of students almost every year, maybe twice, even 3 times a year, when you guys invite me, I come and address. I always speak about, and not to create offense to anybody, but TVET colleges were not historically designed to be offering the kind of programs that we have. Programs, HR, and I'm not saying anything wrong with HR, public management and the likes, right? We should be doing occupational programs, artisans and the likes. Now, we are essentially training people for unemployment, because when you train people in public, it means you are saying they must go and find work in government. And we know government basically is constrained and it can't employ everybody. So the speakers that were here on the podium who were speaking about entrepreneurship, very important, because we need to create people who, if they have the access to markets, have the skills and the know-how, are able to then create businesses that in turn are going to employ people to deal with the inequality that we have in this country. And we have the highest inequality in the world, probably second to Brazil. So I thought it's important for me to say that. And this point of articulation, I used to be a big, passionate person around articulating to universities. And because I'm a human, and I always say to people, what's the point of having a mind if you can't change it? So I think I've changed my mind about this articulation thing. But it's a debate for another day. Because why are we even articulating, in my view? If we are saying we're creating occupational programs, we're creating skills, right? Artisans and all of that. And basically creating the skills that the economy needs. Then why are we even having a debate around articulation? Why are we mainstreaming that conversation around articulation? But it's an intellectual debate for another time. I'll probably have it when I'm on the podium, but I'll unpack it further. Thank you so much. God bless all of you, and have an amazing and a productive conference. Thank you.
Okay, let's give him a good round of applause, colleagues. When you have that debate, non-dab on articulation, you must invite me, because I'm interested. Education must be explored to its fullest capacity. Even business people must continue going to school. In fact, when I'm looking at you, Mr. Butelis, I'm thinking that you are a perfect example on how you can start from as an artisan somewhere, and then go up in terms of education and your ranks in life as well. I think if we were just to put your profile here, we will close that debate on articulation. We just put your profile and we keep quiet. Now, colleagues, it gives me a great pleasure that we're supposed to have Alan Gray now, but I know they are running a bit late because the main person, Linda, who was supposed to come, unfortunately has a bereavement. He lost his father. And I must say it's unfortunate because they were part and parcel of conceptualizing this. So we send our deepest condolences. It's unfortunate that they can't see the baby that they created now. So now I'm going to call on the ambassador of the Bolivian Republic of Venezuela, Comrade Carlos, to come give us a good message. Let's give him a good, nice song. Where's the chair of Gauteng? Where's the...
Riba pala limutu wawena. Everybody rine riba pala limutu wawena.
Yes, good morning. Thank you very much. It's really an honor to be here, and it's here that I have to be. Seeing the words of President SATVETSA and quoting Tomás Sankara, or seeing the representative of the Department of Higher Education and Training talking about revolutionary thinking. So it's here that I have to be. It's here that I belong. Thank you very much. Wanted to begin to thank for the invitation to the authorities and leadership of SATVETSA. Also, all for these agreements to the students' organizational structures that have been here, as well as the authorities of the Department of Higher Education and Training, and of course, the TVET authorities that are also presented here. As I said, it's an honor to be here. It's an important event, a 3-day event, where you are going to discuss the challenges that you are facing and the solutions that you will raise. So from Venezuela, we send you a greeting of solidarity and our most warmest word of friendships. So you have a strength that often goes unnoticed, but that can be the driving force of a society, of a productive society. In Venezuela, for example, it was young people like you who allowed us to move forward at the toughest time we faced in Venezuela last years. It was a huge economic crisis that we call economic war, where sanctions imposed by the US government affect all our people, all our economy. And it was the young people of INSES. INSES is similar to TVET college that you have here. It's those young people that allow us to face this economic crisis. How they did production of spare parts that we weren't allowed to import because of sanctions, but also reactivated the sector of services and the agricultural sector. So today we have achieved food sovereignty, and we are increasingly producing the necessary inputs for a solid and independent national industry. And it is thanks of the work made by INSES and of the young graduate students that INSES has done. And I must also talk to you about INSES, which means National Institutes of Training and Education, which is our great technical professional training institute, and as I have told you, the one of the main protagonists of the economic recovery that we have been experiencing the last 3 years. Today, we can affirm that we have 3 years of progressive economic growth with significant increase from quarter to quarter. So during the 25 years of the Bolivarian Revolution, INSES has trained more than 10 million young people. It currently has 120 training programs, which are taught in 147 training centers in the whole country, the 24 states of the country. Training programs can last between 6 months to 3 years of training. An important milestone is that the training provided is directly linked to companies and institutions, both in the private and public sectors, which guarantees the student a direct access to the labor market. Likewise, the training provided is updated from time to time based on the needs of society, the companies and institutions. For example, this year, INSES has consulted 3,000 companies to find out what training is required for them and what areas are most in demand. Based on this information, INSES designed their training programs that are updated yearly. INSEE has also an internationalization program that has led it to build alliances with other similar institutions in other countries such as Russia, China, Iran, or Turkey. In this sense, it is open and available to also do the same with its counterpart institution in South Africa, such as the Tibet College. In this sense, from the embassy, we offer to weave these ties and explore the possibilities of collaboration that could be building between INSES and South Africa institution. So you have in us open arms to do what we can do to strengthen our ties of collaboration and friendships. Thank you so much.
Okay. Let's teach you how it's done. Let's stand up and clap properly. Now that's how it's done. That's how it's done. Ambassador, we are forever grateful. We are forever grateful. I know one of our interests in the sector is to look at collaboration between different societies and our student leaders. We broaden their way of thinking. We see how they can learn from your country and how you can learn from some of the efforts that are doing. And I'm happy that it's not the first time that you have met the leadership of SATVETSA. He told me that engagements with yourself and your colleagues. So I'm very happy that there's that already collaboration between yourself and SATVETSA. And I'm glad, Mr. Vele, that it's their initiatives, they are running with their initiatives. So we are permanently indebted with you. Let's give the ambassador one good round of applause. We apologize that they could not come to that trip because of the preparations for this. I know that there was supposed to be some student that visited Venezuela in terms of leadership, but because of this, they could not come. So thank you so much. Colleagues, without any waste of time, I'm now going to call upon the CEO of Services SETA. And it's important that I make this. And I'm glad that, Mr. Midire, we are now finally, maybe it's SATVETSA is doing it better than us. They have a proper collaboration with SETAs, because SETAs play a very important role in terms of the sector as a whole. So let's give the CEO a good round of applause.
Thank you, Program Director. I will try to keep up to your time, but I'm very much passionate about the TVET sector in particular and the City College sector, because we are the family within the PSET system. Having served in some of the TVET colleges as a council member, to mention a few, Moteo, SIED, Ingwe TVET College, really it draws my passion about the work that's done by the TVET College sector, contributing greatly towards economic development of our country. But I must just also indicate that what I will share as the support that we are pledging is not just that of service SETA, but it's that of the overall SETA system. We have got 21 SETAs. I must apologize that I will delve and touch on covering all SETAs while specifically zooming into specific service SETA support without having consulted with the chairperson, Dr. Yende, of the CEO Association for all the SETAs. But I know the legislative policy and strategic framework of our Department of Higher Education and Training as our executive authority covers across the board the mandate of all 21 SETAs covering 21 sectors. Much ado, let me also greet the political leadership within the department. In their absence, of course, our Honorable Minister of Higher Education and Training, the Deputy Minister that is not here at present, and the leadership that is within the Department of Higher Education, broadly speaking, and that of quality assurance bodies, your QCTO, CHE, and so on and so forth, and all the leadership of SATVETSA. I really appreciate the honor that you have given to us. Let me conclude by saying, Venezuela, we appreciate your presence and all protocol observed. Let me zoom in into, broadly speaking, the legislative and strategic framework that we are pledging the support as service SETA in particular, but also relating to all 21 SETAs. We have got a strategic pillar of entrepreneurship development as service SETA, which we are driving year on year, is part of our strategic focus. Even the board of service SETA has listed this as one of the visions that they should be driving for the country. We support funding from business startups to existing businesses, cooperatives, NGOs, and so on and so forth. What is of interest in relation to TVET colleges and city colleges is also to ensure that we create a throughput that could be able to start sustainable businesses and create jobs. Other area of focus, strategic focus, is curriculum reform. We are working on transitioning legacy qualifications or historic qualifications into occupational qualifications that have got industry participation, from the design of the curriculum to implementation of the curriculum. Why I'm emphasizing the importance of the industry is because SETAs are a conduit between the institutions of learning and the industry. So then, therefore, we are obliged in our APP annual performance plan, in our strategy, to ensure that we have got discretionary grant funding targeted in particular to TVET colleges in the areas, amongst others, I'm going to mention: work integrated learning, internships, work-based learning for universities, TVET lecturer capacity building, and exposure of TVET lecturers into the industry. What we have realized now is the importance of us providing the equipment and infrastructure that will aid the implementation of the new curriculum. We are leading in the area of hairdressing and beauty within the services SETA, and we want to ensure that we provide modern equipment and tools that will be aligned to the modern delivery of these occupational qualifications and begin to expose our learners and our students or participants into our learning programs into the whole industry delivery of these programs, so that they are in line with the modern global technology and what the industry requires. It's so important also to mention that we, in the area of infrastructure, we have established skills centers linked to both the TVET colleges and the CETs to create much more access into a conducive environment for learning. We have funded them across the country, and we are still ensuring that the TVET colleges continue to create more access into learning, even in the extreme rural areas where access and success will be achieved. We are calling upon all other SETAs and other government entities and institutions broadly, private and public, to make use of these skill centers. It's not just for the services SETA, it's for the country to ensure that learning is delivered in a conducive environment for learning. We are also enforcing and supporting quality assurance by accrediting workplaces to open their doors for work experiential learning in a much more quality assured, standardized model. We also support accreditation of our TVET colleges as well as other institutions that are delivering learning in the supply side. Last but not least, as I broadly cover these areas in a nutshell across the SETA spectrum, the entrepreneurship is across all 21 SETAs, and we are all dedicated and committed to support this as one of the critical areas that could contribute greatly, especially in our TVET sector, in relation to the trades and occupations towards self-employment of our throughput. Gone is the focus on continuously having throughput that is not employable nor not pursuing self-employment issues. Collaboration and partnership is one of the highlighted strategic intervention taking us even to the term 2025 to 2030 as SETAs. You will recall that during the Skills Summit that was held in the previous year, 2023, all SETAs had to set up what we call the high impact integrated program interventions, where we are enforcing and supporting collaboration amongst ourselves as SETAs towards high impact interventions. It has been said clearly by the department as well as our government through the monitoring and evaluation department that let's have interventions whereby we can be able to assess our impact, track and trace our learning participants, and be able to assess how are we contributing towards the impact which will improve the livelihood and contributing to the economy. We are funding as a collaboration with all other government agencies and departments. We are also ensuring that we are bringing local government on the board so that we cut across local economic development, which is inclusive of rural and township economy revitalization. So impact assessment is key across all 21 SETAs moving forward. We are busy now aligning our strategies, our sector skills plan, our annual performance plan, our strategic plans to the medium-term development plan, medium-term MTDP, which is our government strategic intervention taking us up to 2030. That alignment is going to be concluded in January so that we ensure that our delivery is enhancing our priority focus areas for government. The industry collaboration is key across the board. In closing, I would like to pledge the support as required by SATVETSA being here. The leadership of SATVETSA wanted specifically service SETA commitment. I cannot necessarily commit other SETAs, but I've mapped out that it is within our mandate as 21 SETAs. But for service SETA in particular, we will ensure that these areas I've identified earlier on that talk to supporting the TVET college sector, including the CET college sector, are part of what we will be funding from our discretionary funds. As we have been continuously doing, we are looking now, guided by the inputs from the medium-term development plan of our government, to even enhance the numbers that talks to youth, that talks to these institutions I've mentioned and what we are all about here today with the TVET sector. I support that this SATVETSA carry on with this flag that you have lifted so high by ensuring that you bring on board all key stakeholders relevant to rally together in the spirit of collaboration and partnership. We gonna move, we're gonna deliver accordingly. So I thank you. Let's move with artisan development to 2030 as articulated in both the National Development Plan of our country and the National Skills Development Plan through our Executive Authority, Department of Higher Education and Training, and now the MTDP plan that we are aligning our work towards to ensure that taking from 25, 26 onwards up to 2030, in that term, we will be aligned with our government priority areas of support, our institutions of higher learning, our even public and private institutions that are involved in enhancing learning that will be contributing towards employability and self-employment of the throughput of our institutions. So I thank you.
We can do. Tadus Pengan, Seabulela, thank you so much. SATVETSA, I'm sure you are listening. Ne? We have 3 commitments. 3 commitments. SACPO to never abandon SATVETSA or COSASCA. Permanent relations with the Venezuela. Now, Babus Pengana says, I can't commit for all SETAs, but my SETA is committed to working with SATVETSA and forging good working relations with SATVETSA. Let's give Babus Pengana a huge round of applause. Yeah, plus us Pengana from that progressive side of the Eastern Cape, the one that I come from. Only progressive people are from that side. I won't mention which side of the... Now, colleagues, without any waste of time, I will now like to call on the DDG, the Deputy Director General of TVET, Mr. Sam Zungu, to come and give a keynote address. He's always with us, Hotman. I think by now he knows all of our names. He's always with us, and we always appreciate your support. I know he's from a meeting with the Deputy Minister, but he had to rush here. Let's give him a huge round of applause.
Thank you very much to the director of the program, Mr. Khanyi Sosonti, affectionately known as Khoisan. You must still explain how the Khoisan came about, but he's also just known as Sonti. And others have somehow mistaken him with another surname that might sound similar to Sonti, somewhere around there. Thank you very much, Your Excellency, the Ambassador of Venezuela. Thank you very much for being here and honoring this very important gathering of our young people. We appreciate that you made time. I'm told that you have to rush out for another commitment, but we really appreciate your presence here. And it shows how much you take the issues of youth very importantly, even in your own country. And indeed, I hope that you'll find time to engage further on some of the possible strategic areas of collaboration between the two nations. Thank you so much, sir, together with your entourage. Let me extend Greetings to the leadership of SATVETSA under the President Choke and your entire NOBs, the entire NEC, and all the delegates that are here today. Also extend greetings to the leadership of SABCO, if they are here, the leadership of TVET CGC. On my way here, I met the Secretary General of TVET CGC, Mr. Zondi. I'm told he also spoke. The leadership of COSASCA, President Bosula, and your team. Also extend greetings to the officials of the department, senior management that is here, Regional Manager, Mr. Mashele. I like your shoes. When I met him, I said, you look very relaxed for such a gathering. Maybe I can have a photocopy of your shoes after this. Let me also extend greetings to leadership of FAPSA that is here, the leadership of SAUS that is forever present and supporting the activities of the TVET sector, all the invited guests that are here. We also have senior officials from our own department, Mr. Vere, Mr. Medire, and the rest. Oh, I see Mr. Btelez as well, the Chief Director responsible for costs, that is also here with us. All the senior officials of the Department of Education and Training. Let me also greet those that are accompanying our student leaders that are coming from our esteemed institutions. The principals of colleges that are here, I've seen Dr. Mutapo, I don't know in what capacity, maybe he's here representing a structure that I'm not going to say much about. Indeed, good morning to all of you. Good morning. You look beautiful, eh? Including men and women. You look beautiful. No, I'm just saying about your shirts and and nothing more than that. The CEOs of Services SETA, I almost forgot him, very important and strategic partner. All the SETAs, I hope he's also representing other SETAs that are not here. Those are the entities of our Department of Education and Training, Mrs. Pengane that was here. Indeed, it's a privilege and an honor to stand before you today at the SATVETSA Academic Conference, which I believe you are setting a tone as we convene under the profoundly relevant theme, TVET must transform indeed. As the Deputy Director General responsible for the TVET sector in the Republic of South Africa, I have the unique oversight of the opportunities, the challenges and incredible potential that exists within this very important sector. Today, I bring with me not only the mandate of the government, but a sense of a shared purpose and collaboration as we take this opportunity to reflect, discuss, and reimagine the TVET sector for both responsiveness and relevance. We are gathered here because we understand the pivotal role that our TVET institutions play in shaping the future of this nation. For many, TVET is the pathway not only to employment, but also to leadership, entrepreneurship, and societal transformation. This conference focuses on the cornerstones of progress, responsive qualifications, robust exit pathways, entrepreneurial development, meaningful industry partnerships, curriculum transformation, and the digital readiness. Let me highlight how, as a collective, we have already begun to lay the foundation over the past 3 years and provide practical examples of progress in these thematic areas. In relation to responsiveness of the college PQM, the program qualification mix, the responsiveness of the TVET qualifications has been a top government priority since it determines our ability to adapt to the needs of the 21st century industries. Over the past 3 years, significant progress has been made in ensuring that college PQMs reflect the current economic demands. This is in relation to programs such as renewable energy, programs such as digitalization of our sector. In relation to renewable energy, several campuses now offer qualifications in green energy installations, including solar panel with wind turbine maintenance training to reflect a nationwide pivotal towards renewable energy industries. For example, in partnership with the Department of Minerals, Resources and Energy, Gauteng-based institutions developed renewable energy technicians qualifications, preparing students for employment in renewable power plants in Mpumalanga. I think Mr. Vere will talk more about those since it's been part of this development. In relation to technological convergence, which I believe is going to be a theme now. I know most of us speak of the 4IR. I just visited China, and when I spoke about 4IR, they said, what is that? To them, it's a term that does not exist at an international or global level, but they talk of technological convergence or the emerging technologies. The introduction of digital economy-related qualifications such as data analytics, cybersecurity, software development, and drone technology has modernized PQMs across various TVET colleges, including Eastern Cape's pilot programs on AI and automation. I know one of the colleges that have won some accolades at an international stage, which is Orbit TVET College. I don't know if they are here. They have done pretty well. Let's give them a big round of applause. They represented not just South Africa, but the continent in Poland recently, and they scooped a very big award in the AI space. And I visited their operation as well in the Northwest, where I saw some of the new solutions, because they are looking at identifying societal programs or problems. Then they come up with solutions using AI. And I was impressed with the fact that they said, you don't need an A in mathematics to actually do this AI. All you need is to say, what are the challenges that my community or society is grappling with, and how do we then use these tools to develop some of the solutions? In relation to the exit pathways for TVET graduates, I'm glad that Mrs. Pengane spoke, because we work closely with SETAs to ensure that we are able to place our young people coming from the TVET sector. Key to TVET transformation is ensuring that our students have clearly defined and robust exit pathways when they leave our institutions. In the past 3 years, we have improved exit pathways by enabling employment placement. Over 15,000 graduates have been placed in formal internships and permanent posts through purposeful partnerships with companies like Transnet, Sasol, etc. For example, Sasol has absorbed TVET graduates into its chemical plant operation teams, providing career pathways in engineering and production. There's a number of examples that one could actually speak about. Again, in relation to higher education pathways, we are grateful with the fact that some of our institutions of higher learning, universities of technology, such as the Durban University of Technology, as well as TUT, now allow students to use their TVET qualifications as stepstones towards advanced academic pursuits in fields such as mechanical engineering, as well as business administration. We further established the entrepreneurial support, the national rollout of the Startup Support Hub for Graduates programs, including the Allen Gray, I see they are on the program, which we've been running some competitions, both institutional, provincial, as well as at the national level, again providing opportunities or different exit pathways for our students. With TVETs, you are not only trained to look for employment, but you are also trained because you have acquired a skill. You are trained to start your own business as well. With the necessary experience, you can actually run your business. I always make an example of Germany, where you are subjected on this dual apprenticeship program to become an artisan. And being an artisan, by the way, you are not only talking about your hard skills, mechanical, plumbers, carpenters, and so forth. Even office admin, you take the route or the pathway to become an artisan as an office admin. You become an artisan in the confectionery space. You don't just sit in your mother's kitchen and you start baking cakes. At the end, they talk about food poisoning and you killing our kids. But you become an artisan. You become an artisan doing other people's hairs except mine, because I don't have any hair. But those that are privileged enough, like Mr. Vere, who's now the salt and pepper in terms of his head. But you become an artisan as a hairdresser. And that's a route that we want to see South African TVET system undertaking as well in the near future. So in that way, you will then be subject to another further 3 years. Once you become a qualified artisan, you are subjected to another 3 years. For what? So that you now become a master artisan or a master craftsman in that area. When you then qualify with the master artisan qualification, the paper that you get as a master artisan, you can go to any financial institution and present that paper. They will give you funding because you have mastered that skill and you are able to start your own business. It's a ticket for you to start your business, Mr. Spearman. Not everyone will just walk in there as we do. We do people's hair under the trees, and sometimes we damage their hair because the chemicals that we use, we don't even know where they come from. But with this opportunity in partnership with the likes of Fad and Gray, we believe that we will be able to equip our students with the necessary skills to start their own businesses. I'm not going to go too much on this. Notes is quite long. But in terms of the curriculum transformation and industry-led review, over the past 3 years, we held our industry partnership summit in Cape Town in 2022. And in 2023, we held our other summit in relation to the curriculum transformation. That was curriculum transformation in 2023, and industry-led partnership, that was in 2022. And out of these summits, we have seen the progress in terms of the partnerships that our respective institutions have been able to secure, but we believe that we could do more. My dream is that one day, all of you, as students in the TVET sector, you are not going to come to our institutions to apply on your own to study in TVETs. Siyazwana. Let me repeat it. I'm saying, in the near future, you are not going to be the ones coming to the colleges applying to study at a college. But you will be sent by industries. And that's how the German model works. You don't go to the college to apply to do plumbing. But you go to a company that is in the plumbing sector and say, I want to be an apprentice or an artisan in this field. It is that company that will then say, near us, there is Ekurhuleni West TVET College, and that's where we are going to send you. In that way, you are not going to be found wanting, looking for work placements. And that is our challenge in this country, that most of you come to colleges having not secured your work placement after you have acquired the theory, where you'll then do the practical component. As I move towards closure, the issues around the digitalization in the TVET institution, COVID taught us some lessons, and we are happy that most colleges have now included the online platforms, but we want to take it further in terms of the establishment of smart classrooms where we could infuse some of the latest technologies, including virtual reality and other e-learning portals that you could be able to access content without having to come to class. But we hope that all our institutions will be in support of this initiative. Lastly, in terms of the student leadership exchange programs, and I'm glad that the ambassador is here, we would really want to embark on that as part of the people-to-people exchange programs. Not only our students, but also our lecturing staff, that we could have such exchange programs. That exposure will mean a lot to our young leaders, because they will then be able to see how other countries are doing. And I'm in full support of that program. Hopefully, with the presence of Mrs. Pengan, is one of the programs that we can look into. I'm not putting you under pressure, but I know you've already approved that we'll send a delegation of our young leaders to Venezuela and other countries so that they can get that exposure. So when they come back, they can be able to plow back. In closing, my fellow colleagues, the student leaderships and the stakeholders, the transformation of the past 3 years are the scaffolding upon which we will build a more responsive, dynamic, and empowering TVET system. While we have made significant strides, there is much more to do. Our vision is clear. TVET must transform into a sector that prepares students for a world of infinite possibilities. I know some of you would have expected that I will talk about NSFAS and other related matters. We have a structure that deals with that, SG. We are forever in engagements in relation to NSFAS and the funding model for the TVET sector and the PSET system as a whole, which we know it has some challenges. We are also engaging on the issues of student accommodation, particularly for the TVET sector, because we know the backlog that we have in relation to the provisioning of student accommodation. But I believe that this conference is not just going to look at what is happening in the classroom, but we'll also look at the whole student welfare in totality. What does it mean to be at the campus of a TVET college? And how can we ensure that we maximize your development as a holistic human being, including the issues of COSASCA? How do we ensure that we create an enabling environment for all of you to partake in sports activities and not to be excluded? Let us move forward together, united in our resolve to reinvent the TVET sector for the benefit of all. Phambili ngeSATVETSA phambili. Phambili ngeSATVETSA phambili. Uzayithola kanjani? Uhlele khoneni. Thank you very much.
We can do. I said I showed you how to do it. Let's do it correctly now. Okay. I was hoping that DDG was at phambili ngosonti phambili. But that did not happen. I'll explain this Khoisan name one day, DDG. Colleagues, we're a bit behind time. Now I'm going to, but I think importantly, DDG, we must also acknowledge that in our midst we have TVET lecturers who are responsible, and people in the academic spaces in colleges who are responsible for the actual core business at the college. So we acknowledge you as well, colleagues, and know that it's marking time, but you took your time and said you want to share your wisdom with these students. We acknowledge that as well. So I'm going to ask colleagues that we follow this order, that we take a bit of a body break. By 20 past, we come back. There's coffee that is served outside and a few of the snacks. My VIPs or dignitaries, you please go back to the holding room that was there. But I'm going to request that the ambassador, Mr. Spengan and DDG, you follow